Hello everyone, Blaster here again, bringing you another video that I'm sure you'll find interesting if you play heroes. Today's topic is going to be my deck profile for the month of March 2025, and let's just get right into it because I want to spend a part of the video talking about how I particularly feel about heroes in the current metagame. Um, just so you know, I'm still rocking the 60 card deck count, mostly because I still think, just like my previous deck profiles before, that this is essentially the only way you could play heroes in its modern form, because there's so many engine requirements, there's so much engine that you have to play, that the only way you are going to be able to fit every single non-engine that you want to play is by just going up to 60. um, and it's also like a really big engine, like these are 41 cards, like you could make an entire deck out of the hero engine. So um, that is, let's say, the drawback currently of this deck. Um, and for starters, I'm playing like one Neos. You already know that, just engine requirement. Winkerible level 6. I know a lot of people are not playing it, but just like I said before, I don't think this card is cuttable because it's just part of the value proposition of Elemental Hero Flamewing and Infernal Rage. One Shadow Mist, I think this is pretty standard. I don't have to talk about this. Blazeman and two Elemental Hero Stratos. I know a lot of people are not playing this card, but this is essentially, I think this is required if you want to play in a metagame where there are so many floodgate hand traps that could hard stop your strategy. Because let's say with Vision Hero Bion not only requiring a graveyard to function, it also has to banish a hero from graveyard to add the polymerization, and you know that not only Artifact Lancia is pretty popular right now, it's also Dimension Shifter, or at least where I come from, that is also a popular hand trap. So this is the only way I have found to circumvent those instances. Like, and I know I could understand that you don't want to play this card, but like, it's just up to you. Remember that every single card that I show you here is just a recommendation. You can do whatever you want with your deck. Two Stratos, I think you don't need to play any more than two right now, because there are so many cards that, let's say, get you into the engine. One of the reasons why I played three before was because there were no other better starters. I think two for the current iteration of heroes is a perfectly fine ratio. Also, like triple Vision Hero Fairies, uh, 2 increase and 2 Bion. Honestly, if I can be quite honest with you, I think you should be playing the third Bion, but the problem is that I feel like there are too many normal summons in the deck, and you just want to like just narrow it down to 6 or at most 7 normal summons in the deck. And also, like, one of the things that still happens to me is that this card is still really important for the hero part of the deck. I don't think you could cut this card. I have been trying like different ratios, like maybe playing like 1 and 1, because this is the bare minimum that you need to play for, let's say, perhaps Stratos. But it mostly, I think the only reason why you should still play this card is because of Fusion Destiny is one of the parts of the combo in the Fusion Destiny line, which I'm going to link down a combo tutorial about like all the one card combos this deck has. This was one of the previous videos that I made, so you can understand where I'm coming from. But just so you know, like, I don't think you could decrease this card into just one copy, because this is something that a lot of people have been doing. It's just that I don't want to just have like, I don't want Vision Hero Fairies to be turned into a blank or like another Garnet whenever I open like the 1 increase. Also, for the Destiny Hero lineup, I play like 3 Malicious, 1 Denier, 1 Plasma. I think that is pretty standard, nothing else to be said there. Also, like triple Adjusted Gold, just as before, as I've been explaining in my previous deck profiles. I think this card is really busted. Like, this is one of the best cards that you have in your deck currently. You should be maxing out on it. 1 Sinister Necrom, and I'm playing double Dead and Prison. This is one of the changes from the previous deck profile. I really like having this card too, mostly because I think Evil Assault is such an important card for your deck, and just drawing the only target that you actually want to special summon It's too consequential, it's too important. And not only that, like there has been several times where having two in my deck has been relevant for me. So I honestly do not regret having this card at two in my deck. If anything, I think you should treat this as, let's say, as an element of Hero Stratos. So let's say if you want to play like the Hero Lives, this is like the starter, and Stratos, let's say, becomes quote unquote like the Garnet, or like the card that you don't want to necessarily open because you would rather open this than this, right? And this is the same way with the Evil Assault. I know this is going to be a little bit people are not going to agree with me in this regard, but this is my deck, this is how I like playing it. You can do whatever you want with your deck. And for the spells, just so you know, right, I'm playing like triple Evil Assault, triple Hero Lives, and triple Fusion Destiny. These are the best spell cards in your deck. That's why I think you should be maxing out on them. Also, I'm still rocking the double polymerization. You know, guys, that I just personally, me myself, I am not a believer on the Dark Fusion package, or at least as of now, because the problem that comes with it is that it's just too much high investment on the engine for really not so much, let's say, payoff for that high investment on your engine. Because for for every game that you get to pull off these cards, right, these combos, you're also going to have a game, or even more games, where you are going to open these cards in your opening hand, and that is just simply something that is not helping you win the game. Every single time that I'm put into that situation, I'm not necessarily that is not necessarily improving my chances of winning the game. So mostly because like Dark Fusion is such a, how would you call it, like inferior fusion spell, because your options for fusion summoning with this card are very limited. They're not very, let's say, they don't offer that punch that you need, unlike the fusions that you can summon with polymerization. That is why I just prioritize this card over like the Dark Fusion line. I just don't want to play another brick in my deck. I don't want to play a card that, even though in theory should work as a board breaker, is essentially another brick also in my deck. And I just cannot endorse that kind of cards in my deck. Heroes already play so many engine requirements that just adding more into the mix is just not going, just my personal opinion, is not going to make your deck better. And polymerization, just as I have been showing you before, this is a, let's say, a conditional starter. It's like it's a conditional full combo, right? Whenever you pair it, like either you could pair it like with the Evil Hero Dead and Prison, or you can pair it with Elemental Hero Stratos. Opening like this or opening like this is full combo, and obviously by association, that means that opening like Evil Assault plus a discard plus the polymerization is also full combo. That also means that opening Hero Lives plus polymerization is full combo. I mean, it is already full combo by itself, but you can achieve so much more if you pair it with polymerization. So also I'm playing like, let's say, the one-offs with Dark Contact, one Mass Change, one Foolish Burial, one Miracle Fusion, one Dark Supremacy, and one Favorite Contact. And just like I said, this is a 41 card count, at least on the engine part of the deck. And for the non-engine, there are going to be by by deduction like 19 cards, and I'm going to show you which cards I'm playing currently. So for non-engine, I'm playing triple Ash Blossom. You know, this is mostly because of the Charmies. I honestly, if I could, I would actually consider cutting this card, but the Charmies are just too strong. You should respect them. You should not take this card out of your deck. It's just something that you're forced to play rather than you want to play. Also, I'm playing like triple Mulcharming Fugalos. Yes, I finally have the three the three Mulcharming Fugalos, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you should also have the Purulias in here. I just don't have right now the money to just get the cards. It's just too expensive at this point. And honestly, like this deck is getting way too expensive just to have a chance at competing in the current metagame, which is one of the things that we're going to talk at the end of the video. Also, I'm giving Forbidden Droplet a second chance. Then again, I still stand by my point that this no longer meshes well with heroes because the evil hero part of the deck just requires so much hand investment as of now that you're effectively reducing your capabilities of playing through hand traps just if you want to negate an opponent's board. Um, then again, I don't think this is a bad card. It's just that this card requires so much hand investment currently that it's just hard to justify its inclusion unless, just like I said, you're playing the more charming cards with it. That is why I also think that you should be maxing out on the Purulia somewhere. Also, one of the cards that I feel really confident about, like these are spots that you should have in your deck, is that I really like the combination of triple Book of Eclipse and three triple tactic talents in your deck. The Book of Eclipse is mostly because this is, let's say, a replacement for Mask Change, and also acts as a board breaker. And obviously, this card is not going to be really good against Malice, but I gotta be honest, like if you're going second against Malice, chances are that you're not winning that game. I'm sorry, I don't want to be very doom and gloom about the game, right? But I genuinely believe that if you're going second against Malice and you do not open like the most harmony Fuelos, like it doesn't matter what kind of combination of cards you're opening, you're not winning the game unless you're playing hand traps yourself. Also, like one Call by the Grave and triple Infinite Impermanence, mostly because this is also like a hand trap, but also works as a mini pseudo board breaker. And this is all the non-engine that I'm playing. One of the important parts that I'm choosing to give up on this particular build is playing the Cross-out Designator, which is not because I don't like the card. In fact, I still believe that you should be playing that card in your deck. It's just that there's not enough space to fit every single card that you want to cross out. Like I feel like this is one of the things that I feel Konami really messed up about Heroes, is that they should release more support, but not more like main deck support anymore. Like I think that I'm done with that approach. They need more extra deck support so they have like an easier time dealing with at least what I feel like is the most important part, like the floodgate effect hand traps. Like heroes need like a plan, like a contention plan if they are forced to end their turn early, because that is the name of the game as of currently, that you cannot go full like super duper crazy onto your opponent, because they always will have like some sort of hand trap that will either like punish you for going too hard onto your opponent, or like right up stopping you dead on your tracks. So yeah, this is the non-engine that I'm playing currently. Let's just get into the extra deck and then the side deck, which is going to be honestly the extra deck has not changed. It's mostly the same. The 5 links, which is 2 Cross Crusader, 1 Infernal Deviser, 1 Wonder Driver, and 1 Dread Decimator. For the fusions, the Evil Hero Inferno Wing Backfire, which I'm just going to make this comment right here, right now. I feel like this is one of the most underwhelming fusions that released with the new support. I am really disappointed at Konami. I feel like this card should have been at least on the same level as as Elemental Hero Flame Wingman Infernal Rage. This is one of the reasons why I don't agree on the Dark Fusion, let's say on the Dark Fusion axis of the deck. The only Dark Fusion spell that I'm playing is Dark Contact, and honestly I feel like that is more than enough for you to perform any kind of Evil Hero combo play. In contrast, like I feel like Flame Wingman Infernal Rage is still one of your best fusions. This is one of the best values that you will have while playing the deck. I think Konami should print more cards like this that are more generic. Um, let's say they're quote unquote easy to summon, but they grant you more benefits. Let's say the harder the materials you used for your fusion summon are. I think that is good card design. They should be doing more cards like this. And same on the same, also on the same, let's say on the same tier as Elemental Hero Sunrise. One of the things that I've been thinking about is that because this is one of the most generic fusions that we have, and honestly the effect that this card has is really good, is really strong. I want more cards like this. We should have like a generic fusion that requires two heroes with the same attribute. And I've been thinking about this. This kind of fusion should be like a Destiny hero, so that is so you can actually have, like, if you get, let's say, Destiny Hero Malicious or Destiny Hero Denier banished by a beast or something, you still have access to a Destiny Hero, so you can activate the Cross Crusader play. Because otherwise, like, honestly, the link plays are really weak. There's nothing you can turn these cards into if you get hand trapped by, like, at that point. So also Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, Dystopia. Also, like, the reason why I play Dystopia and the Dread Decimator, these are two cards that you are required to play in the new, let's say, the new Fusion Destiny line. Then again, I already told you that I have a video explaining these kind of combos. I'm going to link it down in the description below. I'm still playing the Dark Law, Malicious Bane. I think this is one of the best cards that you could play from the Evil Hero support, especially whenever you're going second. This card is just really good. I like that it forces a reaction out of your opponent. Also, like, I like that it's protected from destruction. And I mean, being destroyed by battles is just like whatever, but like, I know that it would be so nice if it also had like a targeting protection, but this is one of the benefits, let's say, that Dark Fusion provides to the Fusion. Although I just don't think it's worth right now to play the Dark Fusion. I just hope that Konami releases more support that makes running that card worth. And Shiny Neos Wingman, the Wake Up, and the Neos Lord. These are also really good cards. This, honestly, most of the time I'm summoning this with like the favorite contact, because there are times where I don't like summoning the Shiny Neos Wingman because, let's say, the mass pop is not really doing anything, because perhaps, I don't know, like, you're going against Rysiel and there are not enough, let's say, different attributes on the table to make, like, to pop multiple cards. So just having like the Neos Lord is just a nice bonus, it's a nice alternative, even though I'm not playing, like, let's say, like the super polymerization package and all that good stuff, right? I still like this card. This has been a card that, especially like if you're disrupted mid combo, you still have like the Infernal Devices search for Neos, and if you already have the favorite contact, or you have a card like, let's say, like Triple Tactic Thrust, you could directly set it into your back row and you still have this card live, and it acts as a disruption. So yeah. And finally, the side deck, honestly, it's just like, let's say, more like a Malice Hate, because that is like the hardest matchup for this deck going second. So I'm just playing like the triple Lancia, triple Nibiru, triple Trust, because I'm using it to search into triple Evenly Match, and the rest of the cards are just more Triple Tactic Thrust targets, depending on whether I'm going first or I'm going second. Obviously, if you're going first, you also cite like the Artifact Sanctum, so you can tag into the Lancia. Dimensional Barrier is just for like the Rysiel matchup. Honestly, if they are playing like the, let's say, the Finsmith Rysiel variant, like, this is not going to be enough, right? But at least it's something. And the Dark Ruler no more. Honestly, this might be another card, maybe like a different Dimension Ground as an alternative, but I'm still debating on that particular spot on the side deck. But this is how I still like the way I play my side currently. So yeah, before, I don't want to make this video too long, I'm just going to be really brief about it. I am not very happy. I'm not very confident about Hero's spot in the current metagame. I feel like Konami really messed up on the Evil Hero support because I feel like they were too scared or they were too concerned that this deck was going to be uh, too good because of the release of the Evil Assault. Because let's just be real, I genuinely believe like this card is extremely good. This card is also extremely good, and this card is also extremely good. All of these cards are 10 out of 10 card design, and because they thought that this was way too good for heroes, they made the rest of the support between me to really bad, in my opinion. That is why I feel like the Inferno Wing is underwhelming. I also find really weird, or let's say also cumbersome, the materials required for like Neo's Lord, and also like the fact that the let's say the Inferno Rider, which effect is really important, like having an effect so important attached to a level 6 monster that cannot be special summoned by itself. I just feel like it's very insulting, honestly. It's just, why does heroes have to deal with this stuff? Like, if you're too afraid, right? If you're too afraid that heroes are way too good because I don't know, they have floodgate effects like Masked Hero Darkglow and let's say Destiny Hero Plasma. I'm gonna be honest, like the you should fix that issue by just releasing support that replaces these cards and eventually phasing out these cards. Honestly, like this, if these are your, let's say, your biggest fears for like the hero deck, I just feel like hero players shouldn't be punished for this kind of situations because they end up with like an unplayable deck for the current format because they cannot play through all these hand traps and still end on something decent or like something that is usable in like I would use that word, like something that is usable, because if they get hand trapped too much, like they will end their turn straight up. Like it's not like other decks that they get like hand trapped once or twice and such, and they still end up on something, right? Like perhaps they are not winning the game, but they are still ending on something. But here, like it's just they end on nothing, and sometimes it only requires one or two hand traps because, like I said, it's just they play so much engine that does nothing by itself. I don't know, like I cannot in good faith no longer recommend this deck for like competitive play. I would honestly recommend, like if you want to play like the TCG and play like a low budget, let's say anime deck that it has an actual shot at winning, I would say honestly just buy the Blue Eye Structure deck 3 times, and honestly you're gonna have a really good time, like way better time dealing with those with like modern Yu-Gi-Oh, let's say. So yeah, I'm sorry guys that perhaps this is not what you expected to hear from me, but I'm just giving you my honest opinions, my honest ideas. I'm just telling you how it is. I don't want to sugarcoat things. So I just hope that if you are still trying to give heroes a chance and such, I just hope that whatever I'm showing you helps you. And just remember that if you like the content that you see, please like, share, and subscribe. But if you're not doing that, at the absolute least, I just please leave me a comment because I always love reading your feedback. And this is Blizzard signing out.